Good afternoon. It is Thursday, May 20th, and I was out here about to pick the garden, and decided to do a quick little video on everything that is showing out. Right here, see, cucumbers are finally popping up everywhere. I've been waiting patiently for the cucumbers. It's finally got warm enough. And this is my Small Wonder spaghetti squash, so it's personalized size spaghetti squash. And then I got some tomato plants right here, and there's some Napa Chardonnay turning inside there, and some Wolverine tomatoes right here. And then this is a Constelluto Genovese. None of them are turning yet. And then here's Dr. Witchy's down there. And then back behind me, I've just planted some more white butter peas and corn, candy corn, and temptress. And if you can see over here, well, there's my patty pan. There's a white patty pan that has gotten away from me. I just picked a whole bucket full of Alexandria zucchini. I've been doing that on a daily basis. The pickle worms are just starting to try to bother them. There's another white patty pans. There's some gold ones. These gold ones and some of these white ones, I guess the seeds got cross-pollinated, but see how they're like dome-shaped? They remind me more like a cross between a summer squash and a delicata type squash. I'm going to show you some really pretty sunflowers on this walk around. We got that guy. And then this is where I was just picking there's the bush. My Alexandria squash bush right there. It's in a small rectangular bed, and it's enormous. And then you can see right here I got cantaloupes and cucumbers and watermelons growing in there. And then I'll show you the basket of Alexandria squash that I picked. You can see where I picked one from there, but they're just all over the place in here. I don't care. And then over here I've got my Calypso cucumbers are starting to come in. I saw a couple of them in there. There they are. And then there's another pickling cucumber down here. I picked a couple of these off of here already. And there's another cucumber. And then this is a spaghetti squash, I believe, or a pumpkin one. And then I got some straight necks coming back on here. I picked a few off here. This little bush, these three little bushes are the partial eclipse by Hoss Tools. And you can see my Christmas limas right there. And then these big, beautiful Mexican sunflowers. And then in here you can see where I've got that's a North Georgia candy roaster. I've got the buttercup squash right there. Some more buttercup squash right there. This was my cucumber bed, and I planted some corn and in here, and some lima beans, and then the Burpees spaghetti squash. They all came from next door and started taking over here too. So, and then here's some of my grilling peppers. These are Havasu, Culipino, orange bell, and gypsy peppers that I've got going in there. And then I'll show you the tomatoes. So I've been picking these Rolado beans and shelling them. And when they're ready to shell, they'll be red and white on the inside, and the outside of them will be a really bright red. So these are still maturing. And then this is getting closer. You can tell how bright it gets, but they are huge, white, like lima bean type beans, but they have red speckles on them. And then you can see all the tomatoes are turning.
I wanted to ask them how one of these.
Yes. And you can see all these in here turning. All these were supposed to be Romas. Some of them look like Romas, but most of them are some kind of round. So I'm wondering if these are my celebration or celebrities, the ones that are round. And here's my basket of zucchini, the Alexandria zucchini that I've been picking. And here's some more tomatoes. None of these are coming off yet, but these are really pretty through here. We've got some of those Wolverine tomatoes that are finally starting to turn. And then there's some Dr. Witchy's yellow and some Chef's Choice orange. And then back there I've got a beautiful purple Cherokee purple. Yeah, Cherokee purple. And we've got more Chef's Choice orange right there. Looking beautiful in orange. And you can tell the Dr. Witchy's is more of a yellow. And the Chef's Choice orange are like a bright fluorescent orange. There's another witchy back there, so it's really easy to tell which are which. And then this one says it's a Roma, but I have no idea what it is. Obviously not a Roma tomato. But everything always gets switched. And look at all the pretty marigolds that I grew from seed. And right here I have a eggplant coming off. And then you can see down this row all the different tomatoes that are coming off. And that's my buttercup squash and the Georgia candy roasters and some more spaghetti squash. And we just picked our first peach off the peach tree. And it was delicious. We shared it, me and Alexandria. And then up here we've got some huge purple, like red velvet sunflowers up there. And then there's some more that are going to be way up there. And then over here on the grapevine's filling out pretty good. We got some pumpkins. And I just found a pumpkin on the other side. There's my squash. I mean my corn. And then all of this is the South Anna and butternuts and spaghetti squash. These are burpee spaghetti squash that I planted from the seed that I saved. And there's that pumpkin. I don't know. I think it's a Cinderella pumpkin is what I planted in here. I know I planted some burpee spaghetti squash and some Cinderella pumpkins, and I don't know off the top of my head what else. But this big old patch right here is winter squash and corn and pumpkins. And then over here you can see we just picked a bunch of these blackberries off of here, but this is my Arapaho thornless blackberry that I've had in here for about 3 years. And then my sweetie pies are just coming out. They're just putting on some green fruit. They're behind. They're a later variety. And today I actually picked up some Latham raspberry and another blackberry. I think it's called Ebony from Lowe's. So I'm going to be planting them somewhere else because I don't really think I have much room left in here. But these are my Williamette Raspberries, and they didn't do anything. I just got them last year. And they still haven't done anything yet, but I imagine they're probably a later season crop. So that is pretty much the highlights that I wanted to show today before I picked all this fruit and vegetables. And I will do another tour pretty soon in about another week, and we'll see where we are. We're still cold. Or not cold, but we've been in the 60s every day at some point during the day, and it has been staying basically below 80, and then even at 82 and 89 it doesn't feel like it because we have this cool wind blowing. So there is the watermelons, and then right behind that the squash, and there's some corn in the squash bed. And then I planted some pumpkins right here with some more corn. And somewhere in here, I saw a pumpkin just the other day. So he's in there somewhere. So I'm just going to probably let them keep going in that direction and fill up that bed over there that used to have cabbages in them. So, I did want to show you the Mexican sunflower. This big old guy. I've got about 5 or 6 of these in the garden, and they are huge, and they're gonna just be putting out tons of little bud heads. I've already seen little baby bees all over them. So that was one of the cooler things I was looking forward to. That's not disappointing at all. So I'm gonna wrap it up there and finish doing my harvesting, and I'll pick back up here in a week or two.